How's it going, people? For today's video, we're going to take a look at everything you need to know in regards to the Flannel Falls Venture Zone. We're going to take a look at the modifier as well as some loadouts you can use. We're also going to take a quick look at some of the best dungeon loadouts because dungeons also returned. And at the end, we're going to take a look at the Venture Zone rewards. But there were a few things I wanted to go over first. Just wanted to remind everybody that this is a mini boss mission alert venture season, which means we're going to see more mini boss mission alerts, which means more Vbuck missions for founders and more X-ray ticket missions for everybody else. And as of right now, it's scheduled to end on April 3rd. So the increase in Vbuck missions should last until then. And for those who are wondering, there are still ways you can get the Founders Edition of Save the World. Obviously, it's not available in game, but I did see it for sale in a GameStop as well as on eBay. They were charging anywhere from $99 to like up to $400. Personally, I don't think $400 is worth it, but if you could find a Founders Edition that's less than $100, you may want to consider getting it, because eventually you're going to make that money back in V-Bucks, especially during venture seasons like this that have increased mini boss mission alerts. Everybody's favorite enemy type, Love Lobbers, are going to be returning this venture season. Chrome Huskies are also going to be returning. And when it comes to killing Chrome Huskies, you're going to want to use a weapon that either has the water or the fire element. If you shoot them with any other type of element, they're just going to go down and get back up. Once you finish your Blockbuster Quest, the Chrome Huskies will go away unless somebody else in your lobby still has Blockbuster Quest. But if everybody in your lobby has completed the Blockbuster Quest line, then the Chrome Huskies shouldn't spawn in at all. The Blockbuster Quest line also returned with today's update. And this quest line has a total of 11 pages. You'll be able to get some military weapons. You'll also be able to get Carbide as a reward, as well as the Cloak Star. And you'll also be able to choose between one of these 4 Blockbuster heroes. You'll want to get both Carbide and the Cloak Star because they're both mythics. Also, Carbide is really good when it comes to dungeons. But yeah, since they're mythics, not only will you get them, but if you were to get Carbide, you would also get the Underdog team perk. And if you get the Cloak Star, you'll get the Round Trip team perk. And that's the only way you can get these team perks. So that's why I would recommend doing the Blockbuster Quest line. Wukong also returned, except he's going to be available in the event store. And he's also a mythic. I don't really use him that often, but I would still recommend getting him, because when you get him, you also get the Soaring Mantis team perk, and this is the only way you can get that team perk. The last thing I wanted to point out is that they're also selling another hero loadout slot, and it's going to cost 10,000 gold, and this should bump us up to a total of 12 different hero loadout slots. Yep. So yeah, for those who don't know, you'll be given the option to purchase an extra hero loadout slot every new venture season, and just wanted to remind everybody that there's one currently available. Lunar Llamas returned with today's update. Those are the llamas that give dragon weapons as a reward. You can earn all of these except for Dragon's Fist, that's currently in the event store. And you can also get all of these Lunar New Year heroes. Well, except for Wukong. He's also in the event store. We have reviewed most of these. I'll leave a link to those reviews in the description if you'd like to know more about them. Dungeons is also going to be returning. And in my opinion, this is one of the best dungeon loadouts you can use. The minigun's going to help you take out the monoliths a little bit easier. This is the one that I always use. You can use a sub-commando soldier. For our team perk, we have Happy Holidays, and both of these are going to decrease our cooldown. For our sport team, we have Diecast Jonesy, Birthday Ramirez, Birthday Jonesy, Ted, and Fleetfoot Ken. I guess technically you could also use Archetype Havoc instead of Fleetfoot Ken. You can also have one person in your party using a different variation of this loadout. Instead of having Sub Commando as their commander, they can use Diecast Jonesy and put Sub Commando in their support team. And basically that's going to help them take out the boss at the end of the dungeon. He's going to help you kill them a little bit quicker. But yeah, this is the loadout that I use when it comes to dungeons. This is also a pretty decent loadout to use for the Flannel Falls Venture Zone. Another really good dungeon loadout I would recommend is a lefty and righty loadout. In this example, we have Carbide, but you could also use Raven. We're also going to be using the Happy Holidays team perk. And the reason I say lefty and righty is another good ability to use is because they can also take monoliths out pretty quickly. But yeah, with this one, we have Happy Holidays, Archetype Havoc, Shock Trooper Renegade, Raven, Seawolf Jonesy, and Noir. And obviously these aren't the only loadouts you can use, but those are a couple of the dungeon loadouts I would recommend. Alright, so when it comes to Flannel Falls, a couple things I should point out. Usually we get Mild Meadows this time of year, and Mild Meadows is the one that uses the Stonewood maps. But since they added the Frozen Fjords Venture Zone last season, they sort of replaced Mild Meadows with Flannel Falls this year. So this year we have Flannel Falls. We're still going to have the same Mild Meadows modifier, which is called Escalation. And this is the one where you have to get a certain amount of kills within a certain time frame in order to get a buff. So if you're able to get 30 kills very quickly, you'll get the Nature Burst. This burst damages and stuns surrounding enemies for 3 seconds. If you're able to get 60 kills, you'll get the Fire Burst. This will deal damage and apply a blistering debuff, which causes damage every second. Whenever you get 90 kills, you'll get the Dance Party buff. And this burst deals damage, refills Commander's energy, and causes the husk to dance for 7 seconds. At 120 kills, you'll get the Ice Burst, which also deals damage, and it'll freeze nearby targets for 5 seconds. And after 150 kills, you'll get the Energy Burst, which will deal damage and cause nearby enemies to take increased damage for 10 seconds. And if you lose the streak, or if you don't get enough kills in time, I should say, your kill counter will reset and you'll have to start at 0. And again, we would usually get this modifier with Mild Meadows, but this year, they decided to include this escalation modifier with the Flannel Falls Venture Zone. So we did keep the Mild Meadows modifier, but we're going to be using the Flannel Falls maps, which are the Autumn Plankerton maps. And it looks like we're going to be calling it Flannel Falls from now on. Not sure if we're ever going to see Mild Meadows again. So with this escalation modifier, you sort of want to use heroes that either have short ability cooldowns or ones that can kill quickly. Obviously you can use pretty much whatever loadout you want, but a couple of the ones I would recommend are the same sub commando minigun loadout we used for dungeons. You'll be able to spam your minigun as often as you want, and you can keep those kill streaks going and get those elimination streak bursts from the escalation modifier. Another really good loadout for Flannel Falls is the Dragon Scorch loadout with the Blakebeard stash team perk. This way you don't really have to worry about weapons because you can get a club from your Blakebeard stash. He also has 2 abilities with really short cooldowns, so it shouldn't be hard to keep that elimination streak going. But yeah, this is a really good loadout, not only for Flannel Falls, but this is pretty much good for any Venture Zone. For our support team, we have Willow, Privateer Hype, Snuggle Specialist Sarah, Crossbones Barrett, and Blakebeard. So this is definitely a loadout I would recommend. If you're able to find the Xenon Bow, I would recommend the Stoneheart Pharaoh loadout. With this one we have Blakebeard Stash, and for our support team we have Rabbit Raider Jonesy, Redline Ramirez, Crossbones Barrett, Blakebeard, and Privateer Hype. So if you're able to find the Xenon Bow in the vending machine, you may want to use this loadout. Another one I would recommend using, especially early on in the Venture Zone, is a farming loadout, because obviously you don't start off with any materials. So for the first few missions, you may want to use a farming loadout. One of the ones I would recommend is the one where we have Fossil Southie as our commander with the Blast from the Past team perk. And for our support team, we have Paleo Luna, Archaeologist, Clip, Triceratops Ramirez, and Trailblazer Quinn. Obviously, constructors aren't going to be as good when it comes to keeping the elimination streak going because their abilities usually have longer cooldowns, but they're the only class that has a base, so you probably want at least one person in your lobby to have a constructor. As for the loadout, it doesn't really matter, it's sort of up to you. One of the ones I enjoyed using is the power-based constructor with recycling. For our support team, we have Dyer, Base Kyle, Bomb Squad Kyle, Crossbones Barrett, and Electro Pulse Penny. And the last loadout I would recommend is a Teddy loadout. So with this one we have Jingle Jess. You could also use Metal Team Leader. We also have the Happy Holidays team perk. And with these two, you'll only have to wait like a couple seconds before you can throw down another Teddy. For our support team, we have Ventura Ramirez, Trailblazer Quinn, Gumshoe, Stare Down Southie, and Jilly Teacup. So those are some of the different loadouts I would recommend for the Flannel Falls Venture Zone. Next thing I want to go over are the Venture Zone rewards, and I'm only going to go over the main rewards. At level 5 and 10 you get a Troll Stash Llama. At level 13 you'll get the Weapon Research voucher. At 17 you get a Core Reperk. At level 20 you get a Hero Recruitment voucher. At level 25 you get Survivor Supercharger. At level 28, you get a Trap Supercharger. At level 31, you get 2 Survivor Superchargers, 1 Hero Supercharger at 34, 3 Survivor Superchargers at 37, a Weapon Supercharger at 40, 4 Survivor Superchargers at 42, another Hero Supercharger at 44. You'll get 5 Survivor Superchargers at level 46. At 48, you'll get a Trap Supercharger. 49 gives you a Hero Supercharger, and level 50 gives you a Weapon Supercharger. Not only can you get Superchargers from there, but you can also get Superchargers by completing your Venture Challenge quest. And shout out to Archer for providing us with this picture. But if we go to the Flannel Falls section, you'll be able to get a Survivor Supercharger and Hero Supercharger from the Directive quest. You get a Core Reperk and a Trap Supercharger from the Destroy quest. You get a Core Reperk, Weapon, and Hero Supercharger from the Eliminate quest. You get a Core Reperk, Hero, and Weapon Supercharger from the Weapons quest. And you'll also get a Core Reperk and Supercharger from the Locating quest. So you can also get Superchargers from these quests as well. But yeah, that pretty much sums up everything we got this week. Before I go, I did want to give a huge shout out to everybody who's been using creator code A1, and just want to say thank you for your support. Anyways, I hope y'all have a wonderful day, and thanks for watching.